Welcome to the natural hair forum, where we're going to be talking about self-care, hair care, and everything in between. How we're going to start this off is everyone will introduce themselves, and then we'll just get into the questions and the discussion. So I'll go ahead and start off. On Instagram, my name is Tyrese Lynn. One thing that I love about myself, my attribute is my eyes, and I'm from Bradenton, Florida. So you guys can go ahead and lead into it next.
Hi,
okay.
everybody.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry, girl.
No, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Amanda Morris, Nala Soul on Instagram, and an attribute that I love about myself is my smile. And what was that last one? Or was there a last one? Oh, I'm from Spanish Town, Jamaica, but I live in Queens, New York. So if you're from New York, hey.
Okay, you might have to restate everything, Tyrese, that you wanted us. Okay, my name is Terryka.
Where you're from and your favorite attribute about yourself.
Okay, my name is Terryka. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida, and my favorite attribute about myself is my sense of humor. I'm very goofy. Like, one thing about me, you're gonna get a good laugh with me, and I'm gonna laugh with you. So, yeah.
Okay, so the next question will be, in 3 sentences, share with us why you went natural or why you decided to go natural, like if you were always natural or why you decided to over time.
I can go. Well, let me introduce myself because I didn't. My name is Donnneta and my Instagram name is Sincerely Donnneta. My favorite attribute would have to be my brain because it just thinks really weird and it's cool. Like it's stuff I think about is kind of interesting. And I guess the reason why I went natural was because I felt like when my hair was like when I used to straighten all the time, it wasn't like the true me. It was something I was trying to be, or like a beauty standard I was trying to fulfill. And it was a hassle. Like, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I would like straighten my hair like 3 times a day. Like if I saw like anything popping out on this corner, I'm going to the bathroom, about to flat iron it again. It was a lot of maintenance and work. And it was just like burning my ends and it smelled nasty. That's one thing, it doesn't smell good. So I just decided like, I want to be my most natural self and I want to be confident in my own skin and I don't want to have to change for anybody. And that's one of the main reasons why I decided to go natural.
That's beautiful. I'm Chile and my Instagram name is Naturaltwentyfourseven. I'm from the UK and I love my personality. I'll say that I love having fun. I love laughing. And I went natural. It wasn't intentionally. Like when I first went to uni about 4 years ago, I couldn't I only trusted one person with my hair, so my hairdresser. So I couldn't go to the hairdressers to get my hair relaxed anymore. And I'd see loads of girls on YouTube with their natural hair and on Instagram. And I was like, maybe I'll go natural in a few years. But then, yeah, it just happened kind of by accident. And then 8 months later, I did a big chop. And yeah, here we are. I love it.
Okay,
all right,
so who wants to?
I was like, in my head, I'm like, she's gonna go. I'm gonna just, and then I was like, imagine if
Go ahead, it's okay.
No, okay. So, fun fact, I've always been natural. Like, I never had a perm, and the thing about it is, when I was little, my sisters and other people would do my hair and all that thing, but it wasn't until maybe like I think 2013, 14 that I actually started to learn how to take care of my natural hair and learning how to do twist outs and different things like that. So my hair was always natural, but that's when I started to take care of the natural hair and watch it flourish, you know? Yeah. And there was another part.
Okay, so hey you guys, Terryka again. I went natural when I was a senior in high school, and what motivated me was just seeing my mom's hair. And I had a friend, her name was Jada, and she was like one of few people that I ever saw rock an afro. So once I saw her, I was like, wow, like she's really popping. And I'm like, straightening my hair, straightening my hair, heating it, blow drying it, gelling it up, edge is almost gone. So I'm like, okay, I have to try something new. And like her hair is popping. So I'm like, what do I need to do to get my hair to that point? So my senior year of high school, I just decided towards the end, I just stopped getting perms. It wasn't intentional at first. I just literally stopped getting perms. And my hair just started to grow like a weed. Like from the point that I transitioned to my sophomore year, my sophomore year in college, I finally decided to clip the ends off. And it was just, I was motivated also by people that were inspired just by seeing me do what I did, because it was just like, you know, it was a whole demographic of everyone being relaxed. And I was just like, okay, you know, this is a beautiful journey. So that's how I embraced going natural.
I guess I'll go ahead and state also, I decided to go natural after contemplating for months. And I used to watch YouTube videos and see how do people style their hair. And I wanted to be completely authentic. And I felt like with permed hair, I wasn't being authentic and my ends were always frail and they would snag on things and it started getting really thin on the very ends. And I was just tired of having straggly ends, that's what I called it. So I decided after 7 months of transitioning, I had about 3.5 inches. I just cut everything off and I did the big chop. And I'm actually really happy I did because I feel like my hair is a lot healthier than it was. That's like the short story. I hope I gave everyone a chance to talk.
You did.
Okay, so for the next question, I wanted to ask if you guys could give me 3 words to describe how you felt about your hair when you first went natural. And for Amanda, since you've been natural all your life, when you were younger, how did it feel when you were young about like, how'd you feel about your hair?
Okay, so when I was little, I had a love-hate relationship with my hair. A lot of the media that I consumed was American television and it was white American television. So I wanted long blonde hair. I wanted hair like Lizzie McGuire or just like anybody on Disney Channel, basically, before Raven, you know. So, and I mean, even when Raven came out, she had a perm. So like I wanted that long straight hair. I wanted that silky press or whatever. But then there are also times when people would look at my hair and say, oh, it's so beautiful, or oh, it's so long, and I'd love it. So it was always a back and forth. But for the most part, I wanted that change. I wanted to fit in, you know?
Is anybody else gonna go? I didn't know if people wanted to go.
You can go.
Okay. So, I mean, I never had a perm, but like my hair was like really damaged because I would like buy box dye and dye it and then like straighten it the next, like the same day with like heat and then a Walmart box dye. So it was pretty bad. But when I first cut my hair off, I felt really ugly. Like it took a lot like to kind of get used to because I was so used, like my hair is pretty long. And so I was used to getting compliments on my hair all the time. Like my whole life I've been like, you know, if I straighten my hair, it's like, wow, like your hair is so pretty. Like, how'd you get your hair like that? So I was like so used to that. And I feel like when I cut my hair, at the time I cut my hair, I feel like it wasn't like, you didn't see like stuff on Instagram, like, oh, natural hair this, natural hair that. It wasn't like there yet. So I felt like I was like a loner and it was hard. I didn't know what to do with my hair. I tried to style it by watching YouTube videos, but ultimately I just felt like, it just felt messy to me because my hair was so damaged. Like even when I cut it, it still had like those burnt, like not burnt like ends, but the ends looked really bad. So it still looked like a hot mess. So I just felt like a hot mess for like 2 months. But honestly, like the 2 months that I felt like a hot mess was worth it because eventually my hair like got out of that phase and then you get out of that awkward length, which I think some people are afraid of. When I talk to people that currently have their hair like permed or something, they'll be like, well, I just don't want to look like that. I'm just so used to this or this, that. And I'm just like, yeah, it does suck when your hair is like super short and you don't know what to do with it. But like eventually, like you'll learn to love it and you do love it. And it's basically your natural state. So I don't understand like why we kind of think that. And similar to what Amanda said, I think media plays a major role When I was growing up, I used to watch Aaliyah. Like, I'm not trying to dog or anything, but her hair is straight. And I used to watch Beyonce, check up on it, all that. And I was like, well, I want to look like that. I want my hair to look like that, because that's what people liked. You know, people, they were more accepted. So that's kind of what I wanted too. So I just straightened my hair because of it.
Okay, so to answer your question, when I first went natural, I think the words to describe it would be freeing. Also kind of like, it gave me like a boldness, and it just made me feel as if I stood out from the crowd, because it wasn't something that everybody was rocking, which is a good thing, but it was also like kind of like a pressure on me, because I'm like, okay, I'm rocking something. Are they gonna accept it? Are they gonna accept me because I'm not wearing straight hair, or because it's not as long or as blonde as somebody that I see on the media? So I think media definitely plays a huge role in how I saw myself when I first went natural. But the funny thing is, it was the opposite reaction when I went natural. Everybody was so accepting of it, and they loved that it was something different from what everyone else is rocking. Like, it made me stand out in the crowd. So I loved it after a while.
I would say that I was confused because a lot of the time, my hair, people told me it would be hard to manage, and like whenever I would have regrowth from the relaxer and they would comb it, it would be so painful. So I thought I was tender-headed. So when I did cut my hair off and it was actually quite soft and it was manageable, I was like, what? Like, this isn't as hard as I thought it would be. And I had never touched my hair till I was 19. That was the first time touching my own natural hair. So I think it was definitely experience. And like most people would call it liberating, I found it liberating as well. And I didn't have a great reaction because I had quite long relaxed hair. So people thought that, you know, I looked better with my long relaxed hair rather than my short natural hair. So, but I didn't care. Nobody could tell me that I wasn't beautiful. And even my hairdresser, actually, she didn't want to cut my hair. Her husband had to convince her after about 20, 30 minutes of her saying, I'm not going to cut your hair. You're going to look like a boy. That all the people in the hairdressers were like, why are you cutting your hair? It's so beautiful. It's so long. Give it to me. So it was such an emotional experience of me actually cutting my hair, because everyone just thought I was making the worst mistake ever. They were like, natural is hard, it's ugly, it's not going to suit you. So yeah, but now I love it. I've always loved it, actually. So yeah, other people had to catch up.
Wow, I kind of like have to piggyback off of what you're saying, because my brother, he was the same way. He was like, why'd you cut all your hair? Like, you need to do something with it. And I actually loved the way it looked when it was short. And as it grew out, I always had a goal, like I wanted waist length. It's still not there yet, but it was just like, well, I'm going to embrace it where it is now, and we'll see how long it gets. And it was also to go against what people thought, because there's a stigma like, oh, Black girls can't grow hair. You can't get your hair long if it's natural or whatever, or just any length. And I wanted to find out if there's a way to increase that growth. So that's another reason why I went natural. Okay, so now that you've talked about the past of how you felt, give 3 words of how you feel about it now at this present day.
Yeah, okay. Healthy, beautiful, real AF. That's more than 3, but whatever. Yes.
I'm going to say confident, because before I was very insecure with my short hair. I was very insecure. I'll say radiant and different, unique. There's nobody that can be you, or nobody that can rock your same natural hair pattern. So.
Wow, you guys took all my words. So I'm gonna take still some of everybody's words. So I would say healthy because my hair wasn't healthy, and now I feel confident. Kind of like it blows in the wind, like it's not sitting there all stale and stuff. Uh, Confident. I do feel confident. Kind of like what was said earlier about like when I'm in a crowd, like I know I look different. I don't really care. I embrace it. It's something that makes us different as Black women. So I love that about us, and I also love that we can do like different hairstyles. Like I would get bored with my straight hair, and now I can like do this. I can do Bantu knots. I can do like a million hairstyles, and I couldn't do that before. I don't know if that's actually like a one single word, but yeah.
I would say I feel confident. I feel free. I just feel like myself. So.
I think the 3 words I would use are frustrated, happy, and secure. I'm frustrated because as it gets longer, it's a lot more work to manage. So it takes a lot longer to style it and everything. But besides that, I'm happy with my choice. Okay, the next question is, use one word to describe how you felt like the day you did your big chop or the day you decided to find out new ways to take care of your hair.
Oh, I mean, I can go. So when I first cut my hair, like everyone says like, okay, I feel like, inspired, I feel relieved, I feel fresh. But honestly, like I'm gonna be like the opposite of everybody. I felt like, what did I just do? Because everyone in my family, like they were kind of similar to, well, I guess your brother and whatnot. They would be like, oh, why'd you cut your hair off? Now you look ugly. Like they would bluntly say it. Like they would not hold back. They would say, you look ugly. Like what'd you do with your hair? And that's just because it's like ingrained in Black culture. Like if you're certain qualities, Eurocentric qualities are more preferred over Black ones. So when I first cut my hair, I did it for me, but at the same time, I just deep down, I was like, oh dang, like how is this gonna change the way I move and everything? Like with work, I started thinking about that. Like, will I be able to wear my natural hair? Because people don't think about that. If you're not Black, you don't think, oh, if I go into an office with braids, are they gonna like ask me about it? That happens to me now. Or if I come in there with a different hairstyle, is it gonna be accepted? You kind of just feel like those types of things were running through my brain at that time of like, how will I transition to the world now? But I mean, the next few days I was happy. I was like, oh, I feel like refreshed. But the first time I did it, I felt like a little bit like what's gonna happen. So.
I understand that for sure. I know for me, I felt so confused a bit learning how to take care of my hair because I was like, okay, they said to use this, but I can't afford that. So I'm gonna use this, but is this gonna work as good as this? And da da da. And for the longest, I thought I was taking care of my hair, but I wasn't. I was using this, I don't know if you guys know, like the hair mayonnaise thing. It's in that with the green.
Yes, do not.
I'm over here thinking because silly me, silly rabbit, did not read the instructions on the jar. I decided that that was leave-in conditioner. So I'm using this thing every single day, like throwing it in my hair, not washing it out, using it just, oh yeah, my hair's so soft, my hair's so curly. My hair was falling out. And I'm like, well, why my hair shorter? It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's curly, it's so soft. My hair was falling out. So for a very long time, I was confused, I was lost, I was doing all the wrong things. Instead of like an actual oil, in the beginning, I was using hair grease, just plastering it in my hair, thinking that, because I knew it as hair oil. So I'm like, oh, hair oil. So I was confused for a long time. I was lost, but now I'm found.
Okay.
I want to say when I first chopped it off, I was fearful. I was fearful of it being accepted. I was fearful of how it would look on me because I wasn't used to seeing my hair outside of being straightened. I also had the same situation as Amanda. I was trying to figure it out because the way I started, I didn't big chop, I transitioned. So it was like trying to manage those 2 different textures was a headache. So there were times when I literally, I'm not gonna lie, I cried one time because managing those 2 different textures were tough. And when I finally did chop it, it was actually freeing for me because it was like less tangles, less, you know, managing, trying to figure out what to do with both of those textures to make it work. And figuring out which products worked for me. I really didn't know what worked with my texture. I didn't know what kind of comb to use. I was probably using the wrong combs, wrong, you know, dimming brush. Well, I didn't even know what a dimming brush was at the time. So yeah, it was just trying to figure it all out. And I finally figured it out maybe a year after being natural, but I got it together.
I would say the same. I was confused because I was always told I had 4C, really hard, nappy hair. Like it was just so negative. So when I did go natural, this part of my hair was a different texture. So I think it's a bit looser. So I didn't know that natural hair could have different textures in one head. So I kept cutting it off because I kept thinking it was damaged. So literally as it would be growing, I was like, oh my gosh, like this part is so soft compared to this part. So I kept on cutting it because I heard a story on YouTube. I think you guys might know her, and she used to brush this side of her relaxed hair. So when her hair started growing out, it was always coming out straight because of the years of her continuously brushing. So I was like, oh, I've probably damaged this part of my hair. So it was only until I learned that, you know, now like our hair can have so many different textures and curl patterns in one head. So yeah, it's just such a learning journey, but I was really excited and happy to be natural, I'd say.
I would say I felt free and I felt like a new person. And having all the permed ends cut off because I transitioned, it was a lot easier for me to style my hair, and it took a lot less time. So I felt that just like more comfortable now because I didn't have to keep trying to figure out, am I going to do a braid out today? Am I going to try to like do a roller set or perm rod? I could just pick it out, spray it with some water and go. Okay. So now that we talked about how we felt that day, do you think your perspective has changed over time from you being confused to now being like comfortable with it? Or are you still having days where you're just like, well, what am I going to do with my hair?
Honestly, who doesn't have those, what am I going to do with my hair days? Right before I came on here, I was like, child, what I'm about to do with this hair. And I was like, but I definitely know that I'm not as confused as I used to be, but it took a very long time because let me know if this has happened to you guys. I think I do have multiple textures in my hair, and it took a while for me to even understand that I have multiple textures in my hair. I was just like, the crown just never grew. And it gets dry so easy, and it holds a curl maybe for like 2.4 seconds. And it's growing a little bit now, but it's still dry almost all the time. And it took me a while to understand that. And also, has your hair texture changed over the years? Because I think that might have happened to me. I mean, so some days I still feel like a little confused, but I think I have a hang on it now. And I guess it's because I decided that I'm not going to be a product junkie, and I'm just going to not listen to every whim and wham from every YouTuber, because that can be so confusing and that can lead me personally astray, and just finding my own groove with my own hair, you know?
I can go. Oh, I saw. Okay, I'll just go. I didn't know your hair texture could change over time. When I first went natural, like I did a few big chops. I think I've had like 5, just because of hair dye and stuff. But I don't know, my hair texture has changed, and it makes it weird. Like it's strange because then you have to figure out how you style it, what products you use, because you can't use the same products for like every type of texture. And I didn't know that. So originally, you know, I was buying a lot of heavy products like Camille Rose, and it wasn't good, like at least for my hair texture. And I was like, why is my hair looking flat? Why is it looking like this? And eventually, like actually within the past few months, I finally found some products that I feel good with. So I feel like you just don't, like, it takes a lot of time. It's not going to be, okay, you cut your hair, you go natural, and you know what you're doing, because this is all new for us. It's a new generation of like Black women hair. Like our grandparents did not go through this because they had to straighten their hair if they wanted to fit in. I know my grandma had a perm, like as soon as you come out the womb and then you got some hair, you getting a perm, or you getting to relax or straighten. My grandma was like, you're not coming out the house with that, your hair looking like that. You better go back inside and straighten it. So that's like the type of culture we grew up in. And so like, we just don't know. And the only way we find out is YouTube. And that, like, this is all new. This was in the past 10 years. So YouTube and Instagram, I found very helpful because we built like this small community on Instagram. Like even finding you guys, I didn't know you guys before Instagram and stuff. And just kind of, you know, staying connected and just sharing our stories and our experiences. That really helps us learn about ourselves and our hair and like what works and what doesn't. Because there's never going to be like, okay, this is the holy grail product. Because again, it might work for you this month, but next month your hair for some reason looking oily or don't look right or too dry. So yeah, I don't know if that answered the question, but that's my part to the contribution to that question.
Okay, so I think my perspective now has changed in the sense that I have a lot more patience with my hair, because first starting out, you wanted to achieve a certain look. You wanted, you know, if you tried this product, okay, why is mine's not turning out like what I'm seeing on YouTube? So I definitely learned that my hair is different. I have to adjust to what works for me. I found my regimen and I stick with that regimen. I might try a few things every here and then, but if I don't see that it's producing results, then I stop it. And I think just learning how to manage tangles, like as it's getting longer, I don't know if it's just y'all, if it's just me, but as it's getting longer, it does tangle very easily, my texture. So it's like learning how to be more patient with detangling the process, wash days. So I think I just developed a lot more patience as a natural and knowing how to embrace it to the full extent. And yeah.
I think I'm quite similar in terms of this is the longest my natural hair's been, and yeah, it's different to relaxed hair. I think the detangling, it's a process, the single strand knots as well, and sometimes it can get quite frustrating, but no, I would say that I'm definitely at peace. I know I've made the right decision. I can't wait in a few years, I might get locks, I might shave it all off again. Like, I just think there's so much, I feel so free and in control of what I want to do to my hair. I don't feel like I have to appease a certain society standard or anything like that. I feel as though that's why I want to encourage other girls and other people to just kind of do what you want with your hair, but letting it come from the place that you're beautiful and what you've been given and what you have naturally is absolutely enough. And you know, no one should tell you that your hair is ugly, because that's a lie. So yeah, I think I'm just at peace. I'm happy. Yeah, forever learning as well.
That's beautiful. Everyone gave really good perspectives. It was nice to hear how people have grown into their hair and embracing it, which actually ties into the next question, which is, for someone that's not confident in their hair, what's some advice you would give to them?
Okay, advice that I would give someone who's just coming into being natural, or just in general?
In general.
I would say just embrace you, be you, and accept you for who you are. You have to realize your hair texture is not going to be like everyone else's. That's what makes it beautiful. You have to be patient with it and be patient with the process. It doesn't happen overnight. I didn't grow hair overnight. So just be patient with the process, and just be happy and embrace you. Like, that's what I'll say.
I would ask myself why I don't like my hair, why I'm not confident in my hair. And I think it's you having to make a decision to say that I'm gonna do this even though it's uncomfortable, even though it hurts. Like sometimes if say you're insecure about your natural face or you feel like you're always using makeup, just stop using it. Sometimes it's just going cold turkey, as they say, or with your natural hair, just go out with your natural hair, just do it and see how you feel, because sometimes we have to be harsh with ourselves in that way as well, else we'll never do it. So I think I would also follow people with a similar hair texture as your own, so that you're not like jealous or envious of other hair textures that you can't achieve as well. And I'll say surround yourself and connect with people that do love their natural hair and ask them questions and get them to tell you how they embrace their hair as well. So I think it's a lot of hard work, and whenever I see a natural girl with their hair, I'm like, that girl's been on a journey, because it's not easy for somebody to have just woke up and been natural. There's been a lot of things where you're like, oh, am I ugly? Oh, am I insecure? I'm the only one. Should I wear my hair like this today? You know, so I feel like, yeah, it's definitely a journey, and, you know, you should.
Yeah. um, I would say it's, how I'm trying to find the words, like think about yourself, or focus on yourself, because I think a lot of our insecurities about our hair appearances comes from watching other people, and seeing how they're doing and see how they look and see how people are reacting to them, and being like, wow, I want that reaction or something like that. And if that reaction to their looks, and they look nothing like you do, you're gonna feel some type of way. You're gonna feel like, well, damn, I need to change this. But I would just say this is literally how you are supposed to look. This is the hair, the texture that God made you with. This is what he made you with. And it kills me so much that we Black women, Black people, we they brainwashed us to a point to believe that this, our beautiful hair, how we look, is just not good enough. We have to change it, you know. So I would just say it is you, and it is your authentic self, and there is beauty and so much power in your authentic self. And stop focusing and watching other people.
I'm gonna. Oh.
I was gonna say you all gave some good advice. I can't wait to hear what the other ones have to say. Sorry.
Oh yeah. No, I'm literally over here. If I could clap, like, really, I'm feeling it. First, I agree with everyone when they say you have to surround yourself by people that look like you. If you're surrounded by a whole bunch of people that don't look like you, and then you're trying to meet that standard of, okay, I want to look like this, I want to have straight hair, you'll never naturally have straight hair. You'll never naturally look like that. So you can't like focus too much on what you cannot be. Like, you just can't. And I agree. It's all about the type of media you consume as well as who you interact with. And I do remember someone mentioning you have to, like, let's say, follow people that have the same type of texture as you. You can't try to, be like, okay, this person have like 3A hair or whatever, but I have 4C, but you're gonna follow them and hope that your hair will get like that. It won't. So you just have to really look at people that look like you and are beautiful and confident, because that's what happened to me. I know I told you this story before about one of the main reasons I went natural is I met this girl on my campus, and she had very similar hair to me, and her hair was like, it was almost, I don't know how far, it was on her back. It was pretty long. And at the time my hair was like extremely damaged, and I just walked up to her and I said, hey, can I talk to you about your hair? Like, I love your hair. Like, how'd you get it like that? Like I just never seen anyone with hair like that before that looked like me. So, and that's kind of how it is. You surround yourself by people that will inspire you and make you feel confident. Anybody that's around you that make you feel uncomfortable about your hair, they need to cut them right off, because that's not going to be good for your mental. All of this is really mental. Like Amanda said, we've been programmed to think that our hair is nappy, our hair is not the social norm, and we've kind of moved in that way and we've accepted it. But now I think in this next generation, we're tired of it. We want to be our true selves. We don't want to have to straighten our hair to look like everybody else, or people doing all types of crazy stuff like bleaching their skin. Like it's a lot. It's a mental thing that's been here for a long time. So I'm proud of all of us on this call that we are able to share our experiences and our stories, and hopefully inspire a next generation of young Black women that are confident in themselves and don't listen to like the media, because they're not there to, make you feel better. They just want to have you buy a product. So yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That just reminded me of something about the do y'all see like the change in the natural hair movement?
Yes.
It's all
Yes.
Because that's where the money is. They know Black women spend their money on hair, so now they're like,
and half of these, more than half of these companies aren't even Black owned. And
Exactly.
I mean, I can't even say nothing because I be using some of the products. I'm just
Me too, though.
Like it just, and then they also snuck in. It's like you're trying to escape. I can't even think of the word, but when whatever, you're trying to escape this idea of I can't find the word, but like basically like saying like white is better or looking white is better. What's the word? I can't find it. But and then you come into the natural hair movement, and now they turn it into this thing where it's like 3A hair is better than this kinkier, coilier texture. And it's like, can we breathe? Can we live? Can we enjoy us?
The one brand came out and they had basically I don't know which brand it was. I think it might have been Shea Moisture. I'm not sure.
It was Shea Moisture. This was a couple years ago.
My class, we looked at it because they had a commercial and it was basically all white women with curly hair. And it's just like, okay, now we finally have a product for us. And it's like the commercials and the media show like people that don't like it's not
that aren't even in that mold.
But then it's kind of weird now because we've kind of like Amanda said, they've transitioned into sometimes it's like, I don't know if they're using us or like, because they know like they're tapping into that market because they know Black women are marketable. Like even if you see the verses and stuff, like when they did Monica and Brandy, like that thing was international, like the Monica and Brandy, all of that. Like that we're like the consumers to go to. And then that's the kind of scary part is like, do you know, like, is the product good at all? Because sometimes people are just making natural hair products and it's not even just certain, it's celebrities too, like we talked about, that are just trying to just, I don't know, make money.
I just want to warn everyone we have 5 minutes left just in case it cuts off for our talk. If anyone wants to add anything, we can, and then otherwise I'll move to the last question. Well, I have two more, but I don't know if we have time. Okay, so I'll go ahead.
You can ask the questions.
Yeah, the last question was, what are some words of advice you would give to your younger natural you? I tell myself to be patient because there's a lot of times where I'd rush through detangling and I had a lot more breakage than I needed to have. And I also didn't know that coconut oil is great for detangling. So I would give myself, my younger me, a big jar of coconut oil.
I would tell my younger self to just love her hair, love those braids that your sisters used to do. Love the little styles, because in a couple of years, that's going to be the new in thing that everybody is going to be doing. I would tell her to embrace this time, embrace this period, and to understand that there's culture. There's actual culture in each and every strand of her hair and every style that is done.
I would tell my younger self that your afro is beautiful. I felt like longer hair was more beautiful. So it was just like, just tell myself the opposite of that. The hair that God created, the God-given hair that I have is beautiful.
I know that someone already said this, but be patient, because like when you first do your chop, you're just like, oh, I'm ready to look like the girl on Instagram. That's not gonna happen overnight. And you have to be patient. You have to be just, consistent too. You can't just expect your hair to grow and not deep condition it every week, or, have satin pillows or a bonnet. Like, you have to really invest in your hair, invest time and effort. You can't just slap some stuff on it and think it's gonna grow. Like, it's like a plant. That's what my mom used to say. Your hair is like a plant. You have to water it. You have to put all the nice old stuff in it, and do like protective styles and things like that. So it takes a lot of time, but if you are patient, the results will be just, beautiful. So
I would tell my younger self that my edges need way more attention than the rest of my hair. That yeah, it's just extra and it's different and it likes to have its own routine. So I think making sure that I wear my scarf to bed and washing out gel and giving it water, and as you said, like a plant, just making sure that it doesn't have too many heavy products on the edges, but yeah, just really look after it and nurture the edges because they are weak. So
Thank you all for your time and for the beautiful conversation we had. It was a wonderful experience talking with you all, and I look forward to having another discussion in the future. I think this wraps up our discussion. Have a good evening, everyone. Thank you so much.